Good evening.
Good evening, and welcome to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net, the most interesting net in two-way radio. Tonight we're live from Studio Vanguard. We're linked in with the following repeaters.
Tonight we are live on Jersey, Columbus, Flagship, Cates Cove, Toccoa, McDonough, Buckhead, Rome, Watkinsville, Zebulon, Fort Mountain, Noonan, Lookout Mountain, White Oak Mountain, Ottawa, Chattanooga, Georgetown, and Mount Roosevelt.
Yeah, it's a long list. Mm-hmm. This net takes place every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. I'd like to thank all of you who've made the North Georgia GMRS the most expansive and active GMRS network in the country. Your net control tonight is Atlanta 946 WQYR 514. My name is Justin.
My name is Jim, WSAM 231, Atlanta 102.
And this is Tony, WRZV 748, Atlanta 1150.
And this is Gary, WRUB 711, Atlanta 519.
On the net, you can talk about your day's activities, radio equipment, or anything you think we'd like to hear. This is a family-based network, so we encourage you to get your family involved. Guest check-ins are welcome from anyone with a valid FCC call sign. If you're checking in on YouTube, please include your FCC call sign, if you have one, your first name and your location. Once the floor is open, it is permissible to address other members of the net by their name or tactical unit number. Your FCC call sign is only required when you sign in or sign out of the net. Also, you can tune in to our YouTube channel and follow along, or even better, tune in after the net to watch your appearance on the network. You can hear how you sound to us right here in Studio Vanguard, and be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment so that we know that you're here. And those are the interactions that mean the most to make our YouTube channel grow. Tonight's topic. Anybody know what we're talking about?
Repeaters.
I never know what we're talking
I don't know. I could pull it up. Give me about 5 minutes.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about repeaters tonight, how to find them, how to use them, and all of that sort of thing. So, stick around for that conversation, and then
technically it's called exploring our repeaters.
Is that is that what the suggested next topic list says?
It says exploring our repeaters across North Georgia.
I think that's a great. That's what I should have wrote in the
script.
Yeah, in the script, but
I
didn't.
Next time.
All right. Well, with that, let's see. Let me go ahead and break, and we'll come right back. 1 1,000, 2 1,000. All right. So if I don't do that right, then it doesn't work at all. So with that, let's go ahead to announcements. Jim, do you have any announcements for us tonight?
I think I do. Good evening, everyone. This is WSAM 231, Atlanta 102. My name is Jim, and I'm here with this week's news and announcements live from Studio Vanguard. And in March, join us at the Birmingham Handfest on March 6th and 7th, Friday. Friday, the schedule is 4 to 7 p.m. And Saturday, it starts at 8:30 a.m. and closes at 4:30. The Handfest will be at the Trustville Civic Center, 5381 Trust Clay Road, Trustville, Alabama, 35173. Admission is $10 and good for both days.
When is that?
When is it?
March 6th and 7th.
That's like tomorrow.
That is tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you going?
Outstanding. No, I will not.
Yeah, I can't make it either. I
know.
wanted to.
No.
Are you going to go?
No.
None of us
Can't
are
make it.
going? All right. Well, but, you know, if you make it to the Birmingham Fest, tell everybody that we said hi.
Yep.
Also, the North Georgia VE team's next opportunity for amateur radio license exam is coming up Monday, March 9th, this Monday. North Georgia VE team is a Laurel VEC. There is no cost to take the test. Tests are graded and submitted electronically. Pre-registration is absolutely required and can be done at the North Georgia VE team website.
Yeah, we have that up on the YouTube. If somebody wants to go back and find that URL to log in, go back to the YouTube or get on the YouTube now, and you'll see it.
Yeah, more to come.
More to come.
And tune in tomorrow night for the North Georgia GMRS Network's Friday Night at 9 Simplex Challenge on the Monument Repeater. Tune in and learn about emergency comms and the use of Simplex features. Also, beginning at 7:15, the North Georgia Amateur Radio Association's Friday Night at 9 2-meter Simplex Challenge on the N4 KHQ repeater.
Jim, you know something about that, do you?
I know a little bit about that.
A little bit? Okay.
And if you do tune in, you might hear the same voice you're hearing right now. And come and test your reach of the world in Simplex. It's a great time. Also, don't miss Saturday Night Sessions Ham Radio Talk Group with your host, Dana, as he discusses life's mysteries and greater purpose, whatever that means. Tune in at 7 p.m. on any NGARA network repeater. I've got some upcoming gatherings to tell you about this week that are right around the corner. Pay attention and grab a pencil. Put these on your calendar if you're interested. These meetups are really a great way for you to meet other members around your area. The Kennesaw Gathering will have its next meet and geek on Tuesday, March 10th at noon at the Old Town Grill on Cobb Parkway, around the corner for the McCollum Airport in Kennesaw. Bring your radio or Meshtastic device, programming issues, and discuss them and get them resolved. We'll have a mobile test bench available after the lunch where you can test and program the most popular radios or help you get set up with that Meshtastic node. Please reach out to Ed, Atlanta 557, beforehand, on the air, or via email at wrqg806@gmail.com. If you are planning to attend so they hold enough seats for you and so they can try to have the right kind of programming cables and software for your device. The Northeast crew will be having their monthly lunch meetup at Rooster's Cafe in Dahlonega. We usually meet around 11:30. The date is the last Wednesday of every month. For this month, it'll be on Wednesday, March 25th. We have people there that will be interested in talking to you about GMRS, ham radio, emergency comms. Meshtastic's also talked about there. This is a great time, great fellowship, and with the spring weather, hopefully we'll be able to get back on the back porch. Please join us if you can. For more info, contact Bobby, Atlanta 403 KQ4 MJL, or Joe GVL 44. I'm sorry, Gainesville 44 or KQ4 MJO. That's it. If you have any questions or comments or news to share, please send an email to justin@nggmrs.org. All right, back to Net Control.
All right, let's break. We'll be right back. Okay, well, I think that pretty much wraps up our early show stuff. We don't have any tips tonight. Do you have any tips?
No.
Gary, did you bring any tips?
I don't think I brought any tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go to bed hungry. How's that?
Right. That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Although if you eat right before you go to bed, that's not good
Don't
for
do
you
that,
either.
but-
So
right,
I don't
no.
know if that's a good tip, right? But it's good to have Gary back.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, it sure is. And welcome, Jim. Glad to have you along tonight.
Yes.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Put you in
Yeah.
the hot spot with announcements already. Don't worry, that's what he did to me too.
I did.
Outstanding.
First
Yeah,
time.
First
you were,
time.
Yeah.
Sweating beads.
Last time too, I think.
Was it? I don't remember.
I think Jim's going to do it again, though. I think we've got a good one for the announcements here.
Absolutely.
So
you
let
can
us
slow
know.
down and breathe once in a while, though. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I've gotten that feedback before.
Yeah.
Of you? Okay.
I've heard that.
We're not in a race, but that's okay. If you want to hear Jim doing the announcements more, let us know in the chat or when it's your time on the air. Either way, would be
Let him
fine.
know on 2 meter.
Yeah, on 2 meter on Saturday. You know, I'm
Friday
curious
night.
about life's mysteries and the greater purpose. So I'm going to have to tune in on Saturday night to find out what that's all about.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you catch that?
No, I did not. What are you talking about? I was
Dana's,
logging.
Dana's net on Saturday night.
Is about what?
Life's mysteries and the greater purpose.
Has Dana figured it out?
I don't think he has any idea.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that'll be a fascinating net. So be sure and tune in Saturday night, and we'll see what Dana is actually intending to talk about. But if you leave it up to me, that's going to be his net topic. So
All right.
the greater purpose. I
We're
mean,
going to post that somewhere.
that sounds like a George Norrie net if there ever was one.
Coast to coast.
Yeah. All right. So I think once I find the log, we can resume taking check-ins. Let's start off with check-ins from any repeater other than flagship. If you're checking in on a flagship machine, please hold your traffic. We'll come to the flagship check-ins here shortly, but we're going to give all the rest of the North Georgia GMRS world a fighting chance to get in here first. Net control, standing by.
This is WRAT 241 Atlanta 403. Bobby over in Cleveland at the Vortex. I'll be checking in and out tonight, guys.
Yeah, it's just that he was late.
This is WSIS 715 Chattanooga 51 Howard and Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Checking in and checking out. Thank y'all.
This is Whiskey Sierra Lima, Whiskey 621, Sean out of Rome, if anybody can hear me.
This is WRTI 560, Don in Kennesaw, 589. Check me in and out. This is WSI 977, McDonough 24 on the Zebulon repeater, Macon, Georgia. We're checking in and checking out.
This is WRYZ 968, Gainesville 100, Randall and Buford. Check me in, check me out, off of the flagship repeater. Have a great evening.
This is WRPU 564, Gainesville 113, Keith and Buford, checking in and checking out. This is Atlanta 35, WSIZ 923, Michael and Marietta, checking in and checking out.
I really like hearing a lot of new numbers.
It's impressive the renewal rate that we've seen the last couple of months.
I've heard a lot of new people on
Yeah.
the radio too.
Yeah, it's been very nice.
And here's where this is where it's heavy because I'll have to watch YouTube and log the YouTube, so he's logging a lot of the.
No,
So
I got that.
it
Yeah,
kinda-
no, I'm-
This
I'm-
is?
yeah.
This is WSLT 858, Bob out of Woodstock, checking in, checking out, Atlanta 90.
He's already in.
And even if I'm traveling for business, I can log from YouTube.
Right.
All right, let's go ahead and acknowledge this round of check-ins. We've also got some YouTube check-ins in here as well. We heard just right after we went on break, we heard Atlanta 9-0. Bob in Woodstock. Bob, I got you logged in. Even though we were on break, I recognize you from the Hamfest at Dalton and wanted to be sure we got you in here. So you're in the log. We'll be calling on you as we go. From YouTube, we've got Columbus 25 Peter in West Point. We've also got Atlanta 557 Ed in Kennesaw. Gainesville 43 David in Winder. We have Roosevelt 32 Justin in Rockwood. Hey, that guy's got a pretty cool name.
Joseph.
Justin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Atlanta 770 James in Ackworth. And Atlanta 263 Rogers in Dunwoody. Is he in Dunwoody?
I don't know. He's a YouTube. He's on the interwebs.
I'll bet he's not in Dunwoody. I'll bet he's...
bet he's got a radio somewhere.
Yeah, he probably does. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Rogers. Glad to have you. And over the air, we heard Atlanta 403. Bobby showing up late at the Vortex.
Late.
But,
so
you
with
know,
that, Bobby.
Late for supper is fine as long as you still make it to the net, right?
Yep.
All right. Chattanooga 5-1, Howard in Saudi Daisy is in and out. And we heard WSWL. I'm not even sure that part's right. But, Sean, I did hear you checking in from Rome. So if you can, come back to us and help me get that call sign right. We'll have you logged in as a guest. We heard Atlanta 589 Don in Kennesaw. We heard McDonough 24, Robert in Macon. Gainesville 100, Randall in Buford. Gainesville 113, Keith, also in Buford. We heard Atlanta 35, Michael in Marietta. And is that...
Yeah.
What's 273? Is that a...
that's YouTube.
That's just 273? Oh, that's Atlanta
Did it not come
273, Michael in
It did
Canton.
not. My bad.
Yeah.
I had it there once.
Oh. There we
Try
go.
that.
Oh, yeah, because you gotta tab off of
Got to
it.
tab off of it,
Yeah.
tab back on it.
So we've got...
Rogers says he's in Jonesboro filming a basketball tournament,
fantastic.
but on the YouTube. So he's got a camera and a phone in his hand.
And a basketball Jones.
There you go.
All right. So there's one person here that knows what that means.
I don't either.
You
I
don't,
don't- I
you don't know the basketball Jones?
Basketball Jones,
No.
absolutely.
All right.
No.
All right. We'll talk about that. That's
Okay.
probably not appropriate for on-air discussion. So moving right along, let's continue on with check-ins from any repeater anywhere, including the flagship machine. Anybody from YouTube know what a basketball Jones is?
Sierra Lima Whiskey 621. Sean out of Rome. Whiskey Sierra Lima Whiskey 621.
Pamela in Duluth in, and Atlanta 848 Ernest is in and out burning leaves.
This is VSJN 275, Atlanta 313, Stephen Swanee checking in and out.
This is WSJY972, Craig in Pushton. That is Whiskey Sierra Yankee. No, sorry. Whiskey Sierra Juliet Yankee 972. Craig in Pushton checking in.
All right, let me go ahead and acknowledge this round of chickens.
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 I heard
That's what it is,
chickens.
It
chickens.
does too.
Let's go ahead and do some acknowledgments here. We've got WSLW 621 Sean in Rome. Thanks for coming back and clarifying that for us, Sean. WSLW 621. Also, we heard Pamela checking in for her and Ernest, Atlanta 848 and 849. They are in and out, burning leaves. We heard Atlanta 313. What?
Was she in and out, or was he just in and out? I didn't hear her.
Well, somebody's got to keep an eye on the firemen, I suppose.
Oh,
so.
she might have the hose.
So I'll call on her when we get around to it and see if she's there. She probably will be. Atlanta 313, Stephen in Swanee is in and out. And we heard Craig in, I believe he said Cushton, WSJY 972. Thanks for very clearly giving us that call sign, Craig. It's always we're tuned into ignoring the call sign, waiting for the TAC number. So when a guest check-in happens, we're always caught a little off guard, and by the time we realize it's a guest, it's too late to memorize that call sign. So
I'm the worst for that.
we do that a lot. We've got a couple of YouTube check-ins here. We have WRFS 771 Atlanta 420. That would be William in Roswell. And was this YouTube, WRQE398? That's Richard in Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Hayesville.
Did
All
I
right.
not check the YouTubes?
There. Fixed. And we also have WSLX207, Roosevelt 32. He's checked in already, but we've got him in here twice. That's Justin in Rockwood. So glad to have you along. We do have him in here twice, right?
Who were you talking about?
Justin? 3 times now.
I mean, the same Justin or multiple Justins?
Oh, there's multiple Justins.
Okay.
There's no end.
There's no end?
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, I
Help
tell
us.
you. That's just what we need around here, right?
Yes.
All right. That's what we have at the moment. So we'll continue with additional check-ins when we get to the end of the program. So if you've not made it in yet, don't fear. We'll definitely have one more chance to get any late check-ins or any questions or comments before we close. So stick around, and we'll look forward to catching you on the air. If you're checking in on YouTube, we'll keep popping those in, and they'll get acknowledged when we get to that last round of check-ins. So with that in mind, I'm going to roll on up to the top of the roster, and we'll see who's first. It looks like it's going to be Rome 43 Bill in Cave Springs. So tonight's topic is finding repeaters. Let me break. And it's not just North Georgia GMRS repeaters. There's lots of repeaters out there. So what are some of the resources that are available to help you find repeaters? And well, the first one that comes to mind for me is our webpage.
Right.
NorthGeorgiaGMRS.org is a great place to go to find. You can find a couple of things. One, there's a map that shows a geographical representation of our repeaters, where they are, and gives you a good idea of what you might be able to hit from where you are. So that map can be a valuable tool when you're looking to see what repeaters you might want to program into your radio. I recommend, if you're programming a radio for North Georgia GMRS, I recommend you put all of our repeaters in. That way, when you're on the road, driving around, you can just throw your radio over to another channel and stay connected to the network. So it's a pretty good coverage area. And if you're going all the way up to Knoxville, let me break. If you're going all the way up to Knoxville, up 75, you'll have coverage just about the whole way. If you're going to Nashville, you'll be able to hear us past Chattanooga. You'll be able to hear us all the way to Mount Eagle. Nice. Once you get to the other side of that mountain, you're not going to hear us anymore. But that's halfway to Nashville. So that's a pretty good ride. You can listen into the network all the way up there. You're probably not going to be able to call back into the network from much past Chattanooga. But
I mean, you might be up there, but somebody down here you might need to talk to down here.
You can try.
Put them all in.
You definitely try. Yeah, so put them all in, and if you're out and about traveling around the region, hopefully you can flip the dial and grab one of the repeaters. So the North Georgia GMRS webpage, I think, is an excellent resource for members and non-members in the North Georgia area to just have those repeaters programmed in. But there's a lot of repeaters, even throughout our region, that are not North Georgia GMRS repeaters. Should you program those as well?
Yes, absolutely. Why not?
I think so. So one of the questions becomes,
multiple ones.
permission to use a repeater. Like, for instance, the repeater on Pine Log Mountain, the 725 machine that's up there, that repeater owner has pretty much granted permission to just about anybody.
Right.
But it's still a good idea to send an email and say, hey, do you mind?
Right.
That gives the repeater owner an idea of what kind of traffic to expect on his machine. And, if he has any reason not to let somebody on, he can explain that.
Right.
But there's also that repeater up on Sweat Mountain. Does anybody know what pair that one's on?
No.
There's a GMRS repeater up on Sweat Mountain that is not a part of us. I believe there's one in Chatsworth or Dalton that's not a part of us. There's one up on a mountain over by Jasper.
Correct.
The Jasper Club has a GMRS repeater. So there's lots of repeaters in the area that are not North Georgia GMRS. So you don't necessarily have to become a member to use a repeater. There's plenty of repeaters that are not ours. But there again, the typical protocol is that you would contact the repeater owner and ask for permission to use the machine.
Well, according to Repeater Book, there are 38 repeaters in Georgia.
Yep.
GMRS repeaters, that is, just so you know.
Yeah, it seems like a low number, but that's just the ones that are
Well,
listed in Repeater Book. There may be...
Yeah, there might be a bunch out there that it's not listed in Repeater Book, but in far as Repeater Book goes, they show 38.
So you could go, and that's a good resource, too, to find repeaters, repeaterbook.com. Definitely check that one out, and especially if you're looking for repeaters that are not ours. And then there's also, it's time to break. Let me break. All right. Hopefully that was long enough. There's also another web page, kind of the early runner to searching for GMRS repeaters, and that would be My GMRS.
Right.
So mygmrs.com is a good source to go to. The trouble is you may find repeaters, well, in fact, you will find repeaters on the mygmrs.com page that have been decommissioned a long time ago. So they do a great job of listing, but they don't do a very good job of cleaning things up when repeaters become inactive or go away. So just know that if you find the repeater listed at MyGMRS, it may or may not be there. Send an email to the repeater owner, and if you don't get a response, there's probably a reason
cross-reference
why.
with Repeater Book.
Yeah, you can always check to see if it's listed twice, and then if it's in both, then it's probably good. So North Georgia GMRS repeaters are all now listed in Repeater Book, so that would be a place to look. Now, when you're looking either in MyGMRS or Repeater Book, if the repeater is listed as open, are we still required to contact the repeater owner?
I think it's a good practice.
It's
right?
good practice.
Good practice.
Good
I
practice.
don't think you have to, but I think it's good practice, good etiquette.
And I would agree with that.
Friendly.
Good etiquette. Go ahead and send the email. But if it says open, I think that the expectation is that you're allowed to use it, just for signing into it. So those are some of the better resources. But there may be some other places that folks know of to look for repeaters, or just scanning. So we'll talk about that and any other suggestions that any of the members have as we go. So let's go back to Rome 43, Bill in Cave Springs. Bill, do you have any suggestions for finding repeaters in GMRS?
Well, no, really. I just, Rome's my go-to. It's my best repeater that I hit and receive the best on. And I've tried flagship. I can transmit but can't receive. Fort Mountain, I can do both, but it's weak. So I just stick with Rome repeater, and I guess sometimes I don't have to look for higher elevation. But that's about it for me. I mean, just enjoying the network and not going to bed hungry tonight. Wife brought in food.
It's always good.
Ah, that's always good. Yeah,
Yes.
I appreciate not going to bed hungry. There's not very many occasions where that has happened.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Julie tonight too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Amazing.
Big meal tonight.
Are you
Wow.
not going to go to bed hungry?
I am not going to bed hungry tonight.
Lots of potato, lots of chicken.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was good.
Thanks,
it was,
Julie.
It was
It was
awesome.
great.
Thank you, Julie.
That's a little different than the typical menu for Thursday nights, which is basically cheeseburger and fries.
Which
I
I'm
felt
good
so
with the
honored.
burgers.
Tater tots.
I felt so honored.
Yeah, yeah. So she does that to us every now and then. She'll decide to cook something a little bit beyond what the ordinary is, and that's always nice to start off with a good meal. All right, thanks, Bill, for your comments. And yeah, that Mount Alto machine there in Rome is it's got a really good site. It's right there on the top of that ridge.
Is it?
It's just the commercial repeaters and radios are right there on the very, very top, but it's just 100 yards away, and it's still its position is phenomenal, and it's got a view down over the edge of that ridge. It's a beautiful place to go, just to be able to see the scenery up and down that mountain and whatnot. But yeah, great coverage, great machine, and we are looking at some site improvements coming very soon. So
Additions?
yeah, probably an ARA edition.
Think?
Yeah.
Ah,
It's on the list.
that's exciting.
So I
Yes.
think that's I believe that that repeater is in the Hobbit Radio Shop right now, getting tuned
programmed.
up and ready to go. So
Nice.
I think we're looking for a good weather day and assemble a crew to go
Today
up
would
there.
have been a great day.
A lot of people work on days like today.
I'm just saying the weather.
But I'll have to keep that in mind that you may be available for weekday installs
Yes.
if Gary needs a helping hand on one of those projects.
Absolutely.
And that would be a good one. That's because two people.
48-hour notice, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. How high can you climb?
I've been 150 feet.
All right. Well, you're golden.
Yeah.
All right. I think
It's been years, but
I think I'm going to pass your contact info on to Gary, and
I think he might have it.
yeah, we'll make that'll help get that Mount Alto site up and running even sooner. Because if you're waiting for me,
Alto just sounds high, doesn't it? It just
It sounds high pitched.
yeah.
yeah, very, very, very good. I like that. All right. So next on the list we have Tyson. Is WSLM 310. Tyson, welcome to North Georgia GMRS. And how did you find the network? Did you use Repeater Book or any of those resources?
Actually, looked at it on y'all's webpage and found
Lost you a little bit there.
Well, the webpage I think would be my favorite resource to recommend, just because, it's got the map, but it also has the other page that shows all of our repeaters and their tones, and I think that chart just really breaks out really well how to program your radio to be able to work with our repeaters. It's almost a code plug, just like it is, and it'd be cool if you could just copy paste all of that right into a code plug. But you can still copy paste. You just can't do it all at once.
No, and it depends on the program too, right?
Right. So that's one of the drawbacks, especially if you're running commercial radios. The old copy paste thing is a probably not. Chirp isn't
anymore.
bad though. I
Yeah.
don't mind working in Chirp. That's pretty user friendly and easy to navigate. So. Well, good stuff. Glad you were able to find the
Welcome.
network, and welcome to the Thursday Night Net. Stick around because tomorrow night there will be a Simplex challenge, and Saturday we have Saturday sessions with Dana where we're going to ponder the mysteries of life. And
Did Tyson say where he was at? I didn't see.
oh, we missed that. We'll come back to Tyson and ask him. So the mysteries of life and the greater purpose.
Yeah.
According to Dana.
Yeah. Tyson, what part of the world are you broadcasting from?
Holly Springs, Woodstock area.
The neighbor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just right here in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think he did mention Holly Springs, but
Did
I
he?
was so busy trying to remember
You should
what
be
his
able to
call
hit the
sign.
monument repeater with no problem.
Yeah, I would think so.
And what's
So-
special about the monument repeater?
Well, it's not a linked repeater; it's
Not a
standalone.
linked, correct.
Yeah. Was that a test?
That was a test. I was making sure you remembered.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's listed as standalone on the spreadsheet.
Fantastic.
So,
So there again, that spreadsheet is a valuable resource. All right, Tyson, I've got you marked here as Holly Springs. Glad to have you along. Hope to hear from you again. Next, we have another guest check-in from Darren, WROU 622. Darren, do you have any comments for tonight's net?
Yes, good evening, everybody. This is Darren, WROU 622, from Michigantown, Indiana, and I have a repeater up there myself. Hey, the way I do it is the way I found this repeater. Put the old radio on Simplex scan, and like somebody else said there, do a little search of your state on Facebook for GMRS repeaters. So that's all I got. Gentlemen, thank you for running the net.
Very good. Yeah, and GMRS on Facebook is, I hadn't considered using Facebook to find repeaters, but you can certainly find repeater groups, and that would be, like for instance, South Carolina has a pretty big repeater group. I think they're independently owned and operated repeaters, but they all kind of operate under that Facebook page, and a lot of good information, a lot of good meetings and stuff that they talk about on their Facebook page. And every now and then I see one of their folks chime in on one of the questions or comments on our page. So great folks up there in South Carolina. Good neighbors.
I
So
say he's not linked. He's local, though, right? He said he was from Indiana?
yeah, Darren has a repeater in Michigantown. Tony and I are both from Indiana. So where is Michigantown? Is that northwest?
Michigantown, if you guys are from Indiana, it's kind of in between and Kokomo.
So north of Indianapolis.
Yeah, but Kokomo's kind of mid-state.
Right.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. I had not heard of Michigantown, but lived there for 40-some years. How old am I? Yeah, 42 years, I think is how old I was when I moved away. But good stuff, Darren. Glad to have you along. You have a repeater up there. Is that do you do any linking with your repeater, or is that strictly standalone?
We do have linking capability, but since the Midwest network went down, there's a few guys in that area that are really, really against linking. And the moment they hear of it, they try to shut it down. So we really, in Indiana, there's not much of it going on right now.
Yeah, the Midwest group. I believe that's Buddy. I want to say Buddy Moyer that has that Facebook page and sort of runs that group. So good people up there, and I know Buddy has been in the radio world for a very long time. So I think you're in good hands with that. It's a shame that there's so much controversy with the linking, and I don't know what's going to come from the FCC in terms of clarity within that. But the word is that there is something coming. So we'll see what that looks like when it lands, and see what it looks like for linking with the North Georgia GMRS Network. But for now, the way we read the rules, we are in full compliance with Part 95 rules, and we will continue to operate as a linked repeater network. Glad to have you along, and glad to learn more about your repeater in Indiana and the Midwest repeater group. Great people up that way, and if you see any of them, tell them that we said hey from way down here. Are you traveling through the area, or how did you land here?
Yes, sir. I came to Chattanooga for some classes for TVA or TVPPA power, and they're nice enough to put it on for us. So it was a great time to get out of Indiana and to come down here and enjoy some of the warm air down here in southern Tennessee.
Oh yeah, this is a great time of year to get out of Indiana. That's for sure. That's one of the things I really don't miss is the Indiana winters and how they just
yes,
seem
sir.
to cling and hang and weeks and weeks and weeks until you really get into good springtime weather. So we're fortunate to have the weather we have here. And,
Yeah, because March, sometimes you never know with March.
that's right.
I mean, 93, we had the worst snow down here they ever had, I think.
I remember it.
Yeah, but for the most part, we seem to start our spring right about now.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of Februaries. We've had dinner out on the patio,
Yep.
and so
I'm
it's
not complaining.
it's definitely a little bit different environment. In Indiana, you'll have some days that are very, very mild, and you'll be tempted to go outside, but once you do, you'll realize the ground is still
Cold.
frozen, and it's just you may have a warm day and you feel comfortable going out in short sleeves. But to be out there for a length of time, you're definitely going to have to get dressed.
We really sound old, you know that?
I suppose that's
Okay.
probably, at least one of us are. So,
Better than the alternative.
all right.
True.
Well, Darren, thanks for checking in with us tonight. Glad to have you along, and hope to hear from you again. If you can stick around, or if you make your way back to another one of those classes, definitely check in. If you're here over the weekend, you've heard us mention there's some more stuff going on. Friday nights, we do a Simplex challenge, and it may be tough from the Chattanooga region to be able to get into the Monument repeater based on that location and the distance.
It might be a little tough.
But it's certainly worth a try. And I don't know, are they doing any Simplex stuff up in the Chattanooga area?
Not that I'm aware of.
So
Not that I heard of.
that region is tough with Simplex because of all the ridge lines.
Yeah, the ridge lines.
So that's one of the reasons why North Georgia GMRS partners with the Skywarn group in that area, is to help enhance their coverage, because their amateur repeaters are limited in what they're able to do, and so we brought our network in to help fill out the coverage for their Skywarn program up there. And then, of course, on Saturday night sessions with Dana, that will be on our amateur radio network. So the Fort Mountain amateur radio machine would be potentially within reach. I think the only place to find those frequencies and tones at this time is going to be Reddit. We don't
publish
We
those.
don't have that published. So, and you didn't hear that from me, by the way. Whoever you heard that from was probably an unreliable source. So, and his name might be backwards. All right, with that, let's break, and then we'll move on. Next on the hit list is Chattanooga 260 Colt in downtown Dalton. Colt, what tools do you use to find GMRS repeaters?
That's what I thought. We missed Ronnie. Put him up here. Colt. Where you at, Colt?
Chattanooga 260 Colt in Dalton. Colt, do you have any comments for the net?
Now, there's not two nets going on, so he can't be on the other side, can he? Like his excuse last week.
I don't know.
I mean, sometimes he's up on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
True.
All right. All right, we're going to keep on moving. Next in the roster, we have high atop Mount Olympus would be Atlanta 250. Dana.
With the answers to everything, right?
Life's mysteries and the higher
purpose.
Pursuit of happiness? Or
Yeah.
something like that?
Higher purpose.
Higher purpose.
I think that was higher purpose.
Wow.
Well, let's see what Dana has to say.
Well, you guys are making me laugh, that's for sure. Good evening there, Justin, Jim and Tony and Gary. You guys, superb job all the time. Well, you know, you've plugged the NGARA Saturday Night Sessions, a ham radio talk group enough. So, yeah, it's going to be Life's Mysteries. That includes death, consciousness, maybe the universe's origins. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of different opinions on that. But the important thing to remember is embrace the journey, not the destination. Let me break. I hope that was zen enough for you, Justin, because that's all I got.
Look at the picture he's
As
got.
far as tools to find repeaters, I use Repeater Book. I have used the Facebook different groups. The Appalachian GMRS webpage shows a few, and relatively close too in the western and southern parts of the Carolinas. So something that can be actually hit. But that is what I used, and pretty much that's it. So I do hope my explanations for Saturday Night Sessions was compliant enough. And hey, everybody, don't forget tomorrow evening, the Friday Night at 9 Simplex Challenge on the Monument Repeater. Always a great time and a great way to practice emergency communications and Simplex. Back to you guys.
All right. Well, I understand there's also a Simplex challenge, not only on the Monument Repeater, but also is that held on the on Mr. Pete's repeater, or is that on the NGARA?
Oh no, currently it's on the Mr. Pete's repeater. The
Okay.
HJQ. I just lost the call sign.
N4?
N4, yeah. It's on Mr. Pete's repeater, and we kick off about 7:15. So if you want to check your Simplex footprint on 2 meter, which can be a lot of fun and can be highly variable based off of propagation, especially right about that time of night, please join us, because we have a real good time and we see who can talk to who on 2 meters.
So you guys generally wrap up the 2 meter stuff ahead of?
Always
wrap that up ahead of the GMRS. So you can participate really in both.
Many people do. And then for the folks that join us that do not have the capability to do GMRS, there's an after show. And the group will decide, we're going to go to 10 meter and see if we can talk to each other, or we're going to try single sideband on the 2 meter and see who we can do it. So that's the after hours for the people that are doing amateur radio, and then everyone else cuts over, and then we go talk to Dano or whoever's hosting the GMRS side immediately after. So we've got them staggered for that reason.
Fantastic. So ultimately the Friday night at 9 is nowhere near 9.
No.
No.
And Dana, who was the first person I ever spoke to in this network, and I joined after the Friday night at 9 that he was running, explained to me that that was the nationwide name.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a very common name, and I knew nothing. My first time that I ever did one of those, it was probably the first time I ever spoke to more than one person on a radio and everything.
Right.
So it was that was a huge experience for me, and that's when they explained that across the country they've got the Friday night at 9s.
So ultimately, you could participate in the amateur radio challenge,
Correct.
the local GMRS challenge with North Georgia GMRS, and then you can go to the national challenge and participate in that.
Yeah, because I think the national is on channel, isn't it nationwide 18, channel 18, I think it is?
I'm not
Maybe
really sure.
Dana can come back with that. I think I've heard him say that before or something, right?
I believe that's correct.
That the national is 18.
Let's see what Dana says.
Well, what Dana says is the Friday night at 9 on 19.
19.
And
Okay, I was wrong.
the whole reasoning why I start at 8 is not so people can attend that one, but when everybody across the nation starts keying up, the noise floor raises. And I figure if we can beat it by an hour, we'll have a better frequency or quieter frequencies to try.
Very good. And that's an excellent reason to avoid that time frame. Or if you choose to, go ahead and participate in the nationwide version of Friday Night at 9 on 19. So very good stuff. And,
It was close.
one of the things that I want to kind of talk about here, now that we're on the subject of the Simplex challenge. You know, a lot of us are engaged in GMRS radio because of experiences that we've had with cellular going down, or, you know, the need for an alternative communications band. Like, for instance, today while I was monitoring, I heard someone call out to remind someone else that they'd forgotten their cell phone. You can't call them and tell them that. Well, you could, but
It won't work.
by the time they figure out they've lost their cell phone, that information is of no use. So having an alternative communications tool can be hugely valuable. And so many times people say, "What do I need? What do I need a radio for when I've got one of these?" Well, I mean, we've all got one of these, and they work really well so
When
much
they
of
work.
the time. Right. And in terms of that reliability, they're excellent, but they're not absolute. And so we use radio in a little different way. And the thing that comes to my mind in terms of the GMRS Simplex Challenge is the repeater network is wonderful, but what if it's not available? If we're in the post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse and we are trying to establish communications, you may not be able to, not only can you not rely on the cell phone, you're not going to be able to rely on a repeater network.
Right.
And you may not be able to rely on even standalone repeaters.
Right.
Some that are solar powered or wind powered or some means like that might be able to have some longevity in a world of that nature, but simplex radio is just always going to work. It's just always going to work. As long as you are within range of the other operator, you'll be able to establish communications and you'll be able to achieve passing whatever information or message that you're trying to communicate. That scenario, I think, is the ultimate go-to in terms of if we're in a stuff hits the fan world. That's what we need to know. So engaging in the Simplex Challenge does a couple of things for us. Number one, it teaches us a lot about operating in Simplex because it's very, very different than operating against a repeater. If you can hit the repeater, you're in. That's it. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that. So in terms of radio operations with a repeater, that's the easy button. Simplex has a lot more challenges in front of it. Simplex requires, very short distances and line of sight. Let's break. Simplex also requires elevation. So you can't have, that goes back to line of sight. You can't really have a ridge line between you and the other operator and be able to communicate effectively. There may be some circumstances where signals are able to bounce off of mountainsides or buildings or et cetera. But for the most part, if you don't have the elevation to defeat whatever ridge might be between you and the other operator, you may not be able to get that information. So Simplex can teach you the places that are good locations for transmitting and for receiving. And so there again, when we fall back to using a repeater, our repeaters are all on very high elevations. So line of sight's a lot easier to accomplish when the repeater is way, way, way up there, even if we're just standing on the ground with an HT. But if you're standing on the ground with an HT trying to talk to somebody a half a mile or 2 miles or 4 miles away, and they're on an HT, and you've got the woods between you, you've got the hills, the buildings, the woods, all of these potential obstructions, you may not be able to pass that message unless one or the other or both of you are able to get onto a higher elevation. So everywhere around us, there are places where we can go. It might be the parking lot of the church. It might be the supermarket. It might be the Lowe's. It might be the donut shop. Someplace around you is going to be a better location probably than your backyard. One of the things that I've learned here is that I can carry an HT around the property and I can monitor the network pretty well.
Right.
But the only place on the property that I can get into the network is if I'm in the front yard.
Yeah.
The elevation isn't a lot different here than it is up there, but it's enough that you're just not going to make the repeater from back here. So these are the things that I think become hugely valuable with relation to the Simplex Challenge. I encourage everyone to learn Simplex operations and to participate.
Right.
Learn who your Simplex neighbors are, who you can reach in a time of need. Establish a relationship with those people, because those people may be the ones that have the resources that
might be the only ones that hear you when you holler out.
That's right.
And speaking of hearing you when you holler out, there's two components to the Simplex challenges. You will oftentimes hear radio stations and people talking, and they can't hear you.
Right.
Remember that you could hear those people, because in the scenarios you keep talking about, that can be 90% of the game. Being able to listen to what's going on around you and have that kind of information in some cases is just as important as transmitting. And depending on the circumstances, sometimes transmitting is not what you want to do. So playing the Simplex game to where you have two maps, one of the people that you know that you can talk to and the folks that you can reliably hear. From my location, I can always hear Dana and I can always hear Rogers. Rogers can never hear me. He's using a directional antenna and we're just not linked up that way, but he can.
We have to break. Continue.
Okay, sorry about that. The point being is that I know that reliably I can hear someone like 30 miles south of me.
Right.
I can't talk to them, but that's still important. And to have that map also, how far can I actually hear? Because typically it's further than you can transmit.
And that's an excellent point. And we call that, an alligator. It's all mouth and no ears when you can get out for a much greater distance than you can hear. So if you have an alligator station, you're the one that's getting out and getting over everybody, and sometimes that's not a good thing.
No.
So, all right then. Where are we at with our roster? We should probably talk to some.
We have a roster?
Yeah. Well, Dana, do you have anything to add before we move on?
I just want to augment what Jim just said. It's a very important factor to remember, especially in a it hits the fan scenario, that transmitting might not always be what you want to do, and hearing people either great distances or just folks around you is a very good way to know what's going on. And Jim hit it right on the head. So Jim, you can tell you've been doing it for a little bit.
Well, I can also tell you. I mean, you can also hear that I learned that particular trick from you.
You got it. You got to hit the push to talk when you. Yeah, try that again.
Sorry about that. I didn't have the push to talk down. Dana, I learned that from you.
Well, good stuff, Dana and Jim. I appreciate your efforts with the Simplex Challenge. You probably never heard me on either of the Simplex Challenges because typically, by the time 7 o'clock rolls around on a Friday night, I'm exhausted and I'm just too spent to engage. But it's always something I've had a lot of interest in, and I don't know if I get somebody to cover the Thursday night stuff for me. Maybe I can start playing on Friday nights. We'll see what happens. Tony, are you up for taking over here?
For what?
To do what I do.
No. What are you doing?
2 more weeks.
2 more weeks? What?
He'll be ready in 2 more weeks.
Uh-oh.
All right, Dana, thank you for
Like
that.
the sound
And
of
let's
that,
go
Gary.
ahead and move on next to McDonough 22 Tim in Stockbridge. Tim, what tools have you used for finding repeaters?
Shouldn't it be what tools hasn't he used?
Right. And I'm just curious what he's found in the Stockbridge area in terms of GMRS repeaters that are not ours.
Oh, well, good evening, gentlemen. Yeah, I have used mygmrs.com to find a repeater when I went to Florida. I think it was the year before last. I just wanted to see if there was a repeater down there close by where my sister lives. She lives in Navarre, Florida, which is a little bit west of Fort Walton. And I was able to find a repeater, a standalone repeater in Fort Walton. And I was able to reach it with one of my handhelds. I forget which one I took now. It's probably this Wouxun UV9G. I think it's what I took down there with me. And I was able to stand in the driveway and I talked to somebody, asked for a radio check, and, had, of course, put in the proper tone and frequency and everything. And the guy was very nice, and I just let it go with that. I just wanted to see if I could do it. There is a repeater over here by the hospital in Stockbridge that's not on our system that I was told I was, allowed to use it. But it has a very, very limited range of about 2 miles, and the use I had for it at the time I was wanting it a couple of years or so ago
no longer even viable, so I don't even think about that anymore. I don't travel enough to, have to, look at look for repeaters that much. Let me break. About the only long distance traveling I do is to see my sister in Navarre, Florida, and I've already tested that out down there. So when I'm down there, I'm just thinking about getting to the beach or, going to the restaurant or we went to the last time I was down there, we went to the Naval Air Museum in Pensacola down there and got to see all the planes all the way up from, I guess some of them were World War I and World War II all the way up to present day. And hope to go down there in May or June this year and see the Blue Angels practice. But other than that, let me break one more time. The way I found this network, I was just sitting here one night playing with a little Midland walkie-talkie that was not even, repeater capable, and just sitting here playing with it. I've always liked walkie-talkies, and I forget why I had it out. I think I got it out of the drawer just to charge it up to keep the batteries going or something other than turned it on. It happened to be on channel 22, which is a frequency that allowed me to hear the Thursday night net start up, and I heard Julie, and she said, "Welcome to North Georgia GMRS," and I had never heard anything like that before. I didn't even know repeaters existed at that time. So had to look y'all up, found you first on the Facebook page, and then found out more about it. Had to get a lot of help getting my walkie-talkie going, that old BTEC V1, and that's what I used on the network for about the first year and a half, I guess. But that's about all I can think of. The main tool I use now to find repeaters is like I got it on my laptop in front of me right now, the live repeater map from the North Georgia GMRS website. It's the very handy tool. Whether you're keying up, you want to make sure that you're, getting out. I use it, I'm looking at it right now. I can see the McDonough repeater lit up. So I know, hopefully, I'm coming through on the repeater. But it's a good tool for anybody, especially for the new guys out there. Go to the website and bookmark that live repeater map, and it's a very useful tool. So I'm going to go ahead and check out, guys. I'm going to stick around as long as I can, but I got a couple things to do here, and I may not be around to check out later on. So I'll go ahead and say goodnight to everyone. This is McDonough 22, WRCR 952, back to net control.
Very good, Tim. And yeah, the scan function, or just fumbling through the radio and hearing something on there. What a cool thing to buy a radio, and then the first time or first couple of times you're messing with it, you hear a bunch of Thursday night traffic, and what is all of that? So
a lot of traffic.
Back in the days that Tim was talking about, the net was 5 nights a week.
Ooh.
So back at that time,
wow,
he would have heard Julie or Karen or Barry or me, one of those 5 nights in any given week. So we used to be on the air a lot more than we are now. I can't imagine trying to do what we do.
Hey, I don't know how you did it.
Well, it was a very short net and often lasted in the area of 30 to 45 minutes with 10 or 15 check-ins. So that was the pace and the speed of things at that time. The net has changed quite a lot over the years, and we didn't have any YouTube check-ins back then. Tony, have you noticed anybody checking in on YouTube?
Yeah, we've had a few, a couple guests and all that. Somebody a Canton man just says he's got a Uniden scanner that shows him, the channel, the frequency, and the tones.
And the tones. That's interesting.
Did not know they all did that. I didn't know they give the tones.
Nice. The scanners that I've had in the past wouldn't have given tones, but
right.
That Canton man's pretty sharp. So
is he?
Yeah.
You know who that is?
I do.
Okay.
That would be Scott, Atlanta 261.
Is it?
Yeah. Did we get him in the log?
No.
Oh,
because he didn't put his name down. Come on, Scott.
Yeah, come on, Scott.
He's a Simplex buddy too. I can Simplex with him.
I don't know what's the matter with him. I don't think he loves us anymore. All right. Did you see the Gary? Did you see the note from in the chat from where is it? I lost it. Eric, in out of Seymour, Tennessee.
No, I didn't even see that.
Gary, you'll have to take a look through the chat for
Okay.
that.
Who was it from?
Eric.
I know Seymour, Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, he says hello to you,
Okay.
and
Hello, Eric.
yeah, dig through there and see if you can find that.
Is it up top?
It's about midway through.
Okay. We'll find it. Welcome to the net.
Yeah. And so where are we at? We just talked with Tim. So that brings us next to Derek, WSLW647. Derek in Seymour. Derek, do you have any comments for tonight's net?
647.
WSLW647. Yeah, I was stumbling through and discovered on my scanner your net. Got this, I guess maybe the same scanner as the gentleman that you spoke to before. Got the freak and the tone and everything set up, and here I am. And yeah, this is Eric Glasgow. Gary used to work together over at WBIR. That's basically all I got tonight. WSLW647.
I know that name well. I know that name well. That's Tater. We used to call him Tater in the day. Great guy. Eric, good to hear from you, buddy.
Fantastic. Glad to have you along tonight, and glad you're able to connect. Gary's been absent from us for a little while. He's had some other obligations, but it's great to have him back, and we're hoping that we can keep him. We don't know yet, so we'll see how things shake up. But glad you're able to make that connection, and good stuff. So check us out on YouTube as well. That's a great opportunity to learn more about what's going on. So, so Kentman says that model is kind of specific. He's had one for at least 13 years.
Yeah.
Did he mention? Oh, it's the Bearcat 125 AT.
Yeah, I think that's what he. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the one that will do the decoding. So good stuff. All right, and next on our list, I met Bob on Saturday at the Dalton Ham Fest, and Bob's very excited about GMRS Radio. Glad to have him along, and glad that he was able to figure out how to get his radio programmed. You know, he was asking me, what's a good HT to get? And
All of them.
I mentioned the Anytone, and I said, I'm pretty sure that Chat Radio will have one. And I think it was probably about 20 minutes later, he's walking out, hey, look what I got.
Well,
So good
it's a
stuff.
bad habit.
I think it was a good purchase, Bob. So good luck with that radio. I'm glad to know that you've got in. Do you have any comments? And how did you learn about GMRS in general? And have you learned enough about finding repeaters? Are you learning that there's more than just North Georgia GMRS out there?
Yeah, actually Mike Tyson's a friend of mine, and he turned me on to you guys, and so I'm on the flagship. We have trouble on the other repeaters trying to make them work. Still working that out. But one other thing I was interested in is that Tuesday lunch thing at Old Town on this new Anytone 87 I got. Having a little trouble programming it, and if there's some people there that could help me do that, I might stop in there for lunch.
Oh, definitely. They call that the meet and geek. And the conversations are probably geared a lot towards things like Meshtastic. And there's a new protocol,
Core.
MeshCore. MeshCore is the latest hot topic at the meet and geek. But also programming radios is a thing that they can do, so they're able to Ed will bring a laptop, and he's got an assortment of programming cables, and he'd be very happy to put a code plug in your radio for you. Just send him a quick email. I'm going to give you that email address here in just a moment. Send him a quick email and let him know that you're going to plan to be there and what radio that you have, so that he knows to make sure he includes the right cables and software when he goes. Let me break. That email address that I promised is WRQG806 at gmail.com. That's WRQG806 at gmail.com. Send them an email and enjoy the lunch. Looks like that date on that. Do we have that date? March 10. So that'll be next week.
Or you could reach out to Ed on the radio.
Yes.
557.
Oh yeah.
You definitely call out to 557 on the radio, and he can make connection with you and get you all set up. He's in Kennesaw, so
Correct.
you guys might be able to meet for lunch or dinner someplace other than at the Meet and Geek. Let me break.
Double checking that email, WRQG806 at gmail.com.
That is correct. So you've got it, and go ahead and make that connection, and I'm sure Ed will get you all set up and all programmed up. If the timing had been better, I might have introduced you to Ed at the Dalton Ham Fest, but I think he showed up after I saw you last. So, but that's all right. We'll make the connection now, and we'll get you up and running in the way that you like. So, welcome to GMRS Radio. And it will be an adventure. I promise you that. There are lots of things to learn and do, and then once you get to a place where you've learned a lot with GMRS, you'll probably continue that journey with amateur radio, and there's no end to buying radios.
It's a habit. What
stuff.
Bad habit? What?
Yeah,
Something
absolutely.
Like that?
Yeah, we often refer to GMRS radio as being the gateway to other radio habits.
Yeah, it absolutely was in my case.
Mine too. Mine
No,
as well.
absolutely.
Mine
And
as well.
it was just a launching point from there. And Justin, I want to touch on something you had said about our friend Atlanta 250 Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Ed, I've been playing with Meshtastic for about 2 years. I'm okay with it. Ed has forgotten more about Meshtastic than I will ever know. He lectures and teaches on that at DragonCon, at all kind of different events and everything. So I just wanted to throw that out there because these lunches that we offer, they are awesome. You will meet great people. You will have fun. There will be fellowship, but you can learn so much. And if you show up there with a question about Meshtastic, you will leave with the answer. And that's one of the awesome things about when we gather at these lunches, and not just the technical exchange, like I said, the fun and the fellowship also, but it is a fantastic opportunity to get that crazy question answered, especially the one that you just can't really figure out how to put it into Google. Go talk to the guys at one of these lunches. You'll get your answer.
And Ed's doing the chat on YouTube as well, or helping out with it.
Yeah, so
Thanks, Ed.
he is the behind the scenes guy, and he's handling some of those communications. So that's a big help because it's tough to keep up with everything here in the studio. So good stuff. Thanks for that, Ed, and thanks for your comments. Appreciate having you along, and welcome to the network. Next on the list we have Atlanta 403. Bobby is at the Vortex in Cleveland. Bobby, what comments do you have for tonight's net, and what methods have you used to find GMRS repeaters?
Well, guys, I've used all of the above-mentioned methods, and originally, about 8 or 9 years ago, my best method for finding the repeaters was I had Atlanta 545. Jerry gave us our Bofang radios for the first time in our certain group. And if you let Jerry program a radio for you, you'll get every repeater within 700 miles of Atlanta, Georgia, programmed into your radio. So, but yeah, that was my introduction to it back then, and it's been fun ever since then. And yeah, I've used the My GMRS, and I've used the repeater book and radio reference, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of ways you can find repeaters, and they're out there.
Very good, Bobby. Yeah, there are lots of resources, and the Bearcat scanning function. A lot of the GMRS radios also allow for scanning and have the capability of detecting tones.
Right.
So you might do a little bit of searching through the manual on your radio to learn how to engage those features. And
A lot of predetermined radios too, or just channels, channel 1, channel 2, and all that. So you're going to have to find a frequency and then search that frequency and stuff like that. But I think that's how I found it. I think was it Jeep Fest a couple years back? You guys were doing Jeep Fest.
okay.
And I think I heard all the traffic. I had just got a radio and heard. I was like, what is going on? What is all this about? That's what got me into it.
Very
then.
nice.
So it's pretty cool.
Jeep Fest was a lot of fun. Hope
Yes.
to be able to do that again sometime. So we'll see. We'll cover Jeep Fest one way or the other, but on site was definitely a lot of fun.
Was Bobby at the Vortex?
Bobby
hear it.
said he was at the Vortex, but I think he was late. Bobby, were you late for supper?
Because Joe.
No, I was just probably outside or something having a smoke when you called for the first round of check-in. So, yeah, I just waited till got the set up for the YouTube and waited for the regular check-ins.
We went into a full panic
I know.
when we didn't have Bobby.
Joe got in first,
Right.
but we didn't have Bobby, and it's like
Yeah.
something's going on.
It threw all the rhythm off, and
Didn't
yeah,
know
we,
what was
we
happening.
weren't quite sure how
Should
to
have known
act.
he was out for a smoke.
Yeah, that checks out.
Doesn't it?
And, he's probably out for a smoke right now.
Probably.
All right. All right. Well, at least he's fully capable of monitoring. So good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Bobby. It was great to have you. Next, we have. I'm just curious
Did you
why
lose
that.
the list?
No, the list is right in front of me, but this box is white and it should be colored, and I'm just like, why is that different? So a little OCD moment. Next on the list, we have Atlanta 849 Pamela out burning leaves. Pamela, are you in tonight? And did you have any comments? How did you and Ernest stumble across North Georgia GMRS, and how do you guys find GMRS repeaters now?
Oh, yes, Justin and Tony and Jim, I think I got that right. Yeah, Ernest is out burning. I was getting in and had to help him and get everything shut down and make sure we not going to catch anything on fire. But the way he was just turning the dial, and we heard that wonderful Uncle Mike character. And that's how we got started with all of it and found out and what GMRS was, and decided that was a group to join.
Ah, very good. Uncle Mike from up around Cherry Log. He will certainly be missed. Mike was known as BR 549, Blue Ridge, and he is now a silent key. He's passed on, but he was a treasure during the time that we were able to enjoy him on the network. And very good stuff, Pamela. Well, appreciate you checking on the fire to make sure it doesn't get crazy overnight.
Don't use the hose on Ernest, though.
Well, it depends on what you mean
Well,
by-
if he's on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully no one's on fire and all is good. So good stuff, Pamela. Thanks for that. Next on the list, we have WSJY 972, Craig in Cushton. Craig, do you have any comments for tonight's net?
This is WSJ Rock 972. Yes, I've used mygmars.com, Finder Repeaters, worked y'all's website, and then I just recently learned about repeaterbook.com. I went to the Tech Fest over in Lawrenceville, and I won the 1-year membership as a door prize over there, so I went and found out about that. That's actually how I found out about the repeater book itself. I went over to y'all's booth over there, and I met Walter, Union 35 over there, talked to him, and learned all about .com stuff. I did that, but the way I actually learned about GMRS originally wasn't great. Is my family was camping, and we used FRS radios to back the camper up, stuff like that, and then my son was playing with them after. and I have the radio on scan, and picked up one of y'all's nets. I don't remember if it was Thursday or Friday, I think something like that. And me and my son just sat there and listened. Of course, you know, we didn't know anything at the time. We tried talking, and of course, nobody heard us. But yeah, we were over at Fort Yellow State Park camping over there, and that's how we found out about GMRS. And I went ahead and signed up, and got my little TVH3 handheld, and here we are.
Yeah, and I think that's a story that goes on quite a lot. Is you know, people didn't really know, but they've got a radio, and all of a sudden they hear this chatter coming over their radio, and what's that all about, and who is it, and what's going on, and you know, that's a story I've heard a number of times for people discovering the network. I have a different story, but in any case, that's a cool way of finding repeaters, and of course, not knowing that it's actually a repeater, or not knowing that you've got to have a tone to get into it.
Well, I think a lot of people are shocked too that it's just a normal conversation people are having. Hey, how was your day? How did you get coffee? What are you going on my way to work? It's not the, what do you want to say, the old school CB where it's just banter back and forth.
Right.
It's actually a community of people that are just saying, hey, waving a hand, how you doing?
And I tell you, that's one of the reasons why we try to encourage plain language communications, right? So we try to avoid, you know, the 10 codes, the more technical jargon. We try to avoid, you know, Q codes that come from our amateur radio neighborhood. We try to avoid any coded messages. Of course, coded messages are prohibited in GMRS, with the exception of 10 codes. Part 95 rules do specifically allow for 10 codes, but North Georgia GMRS says no. Our MOU says no to 10 codes, and the reason for that is twofold. One, we want communications and conversations to happen on the network that sound like just people chatting.
Right.
We want friendly, neighborly, cordial conversations to happen, and 10 codes are really not conducive to that. And the other is we wish to keep a distance from anything that sounds or smells like CB.
Right.
CB radio has a well-earned connotation for vulgarity and for profanity and for all of the things that have recently been introduced on this network by an individual. We really try hard to keep this a family-friendly environment, and so many of our members are fantastic about maintaining that environment. It's the non-members that don't get the message, that haven't gotten the memo, and unfortunately, the effect of that is that the family communications part of that's really been destroyed.
All right.
You know, being able to introduce our youth to the magic of two-way radio is something that GMRS is really, really great for. But because of some people that have come on here to engage in profanity and vulgar conversation material, we've not really been able to market or advertise or promote youth on the network. Let me break. Nonetheless, I've heard a number of attempts at people trying to get kids engaged and involved on the air. And I had a conversation with someone over the weekend, and the conversation was along the lines of, yeah, we know what's going on, but I'm not going to let that keep my kids from participating. My kids know what that language is, and they understand that it's not okay. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Right.
I don't know, you know, with regard to my grandchildren, I'm not really ready to expose them to.
I think the age has.
Yeah.
It's got to be something to do with the age.
Absolutely.
So I think there's an element there, or a line there, or maybe you can bring your kids in.
Right.
But in any case, everybody has to make their own choices here based on what we've been experiencing in this environment. It's just a shame that someone can be so thoughtless and so selfish as to want to ruin an entire platform for so many who could utilize it in a family-friendly environment, as GMRS radio is meant to be. So, good stuff. Thanks for your comments. And
Thanks for joining in.
yeah, glad to have you along. And welcome to the network anytime. It looks like that is the end of the roster, but I do have some YouTube check-ins to acknowledge. It looks like we have Atlanta 1-8 Josh in Covington checking in on YouTube. We have a guest check-in from WQAI 363 Adam in central Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Atlanta 379 Scott in Sandy Creek, New York. We have Atlanta 251 Frank in Alpharetta. We have WSEE 486 Connie checking in on YouTube. And another check-in I saw without a name, WSKR 628. Got you? No? Okay. All right.
All right.
And then we have WRCT 399. Oh, that's Atlanta 710. That's Scott in Roswell.
Yes.
All right. And that's what we have so far in the roster.
That's all I got.
And, well, that's enough.
Yeah.
Should we just close it right here?
Well, Gainesville 43 said he was getting back into CB, found out GMRS, and now he's an extra.
Yeah, that happens. That
No,
happens.
absolutely. I'm on that same path.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing about what you were saying before, GMRS is approachable. So you get into GMRS and you make these contacts and everything. And I mean, we're using UHF, so we've got reasonable voice quality and stuff. You don't need to progress to using all of our magic codes. And I'm very active in amateur radio. Over there, where you're trying to get through static and talk to somebody on the other side of the planet, codes become important.
Right.
But in our world, I think it's far more important to keep it approachable so that people get in and either find this meets their needs, or it launches them towards, hey, I want to do more things in radio. And then you meet people that can help make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't necessarily have to be on the radio every day, all day long. It's just you enjoy it, you use it every now and then. Who's got the button?
Oh, it's time to
It's time to take a
time
break.
to reset.
Yeah, hang on.
So probably no one can hear
The
this
last
banter about why we haven't reset yet. Let's go ahead and reset.
Did you reset?
I did.
Okay. We had to reset.
Did you have something to say?
Technical difficulties. I was saying you don't have, even if you don't use the radio every day, and you want to join, help the network, as a backup. Like you said somebody forgot their cell phone today, and you heard them on the radio, hey, you forgot your cell phone, come back to the house and get it, and all that. So it's just a backup for some.
Wait, can you slow down again? I didn't understand. You don't have to be on the radio every day?
Well, technically you don't have to be on the radio every day.
Okay. I was
Jim,
confused.
I know you're on the radio every day. A radio, some kind of radio, talking to somebody, right?
Fair enough.
But it's good. Some people that want to do be on the radio all day long. We don't mind.
Yeah, it's something I really enjoy monitoring. It's nice to be able to listen in on the conversations that happen throughout the day. I don't necessarily have the bandwidth to be able to jump in on those conversations throughout the workday. And my workday pretty much is anytime I'm awake. But it's just fun to be able to hear those conversations going on. I'm not able to monitor anywhere near as much as I would like to.
Right. And there's a ton of us that are monitoring throughout the day. We might not have time to talk, but there is a lot out there. So if somebody needs some help and need a hand, need some directions or something, holler out. Somebody will come back to you.
Yep, definitely. Well, we can't close the net quite yet. We do have an obligation to take one final round of additional check-ins or open the floor for any questions or comments from anyone out there. So we'll go ahead and do that now. We're going to open up the floor. Any questions or comments, any additional check-ins, Net Control standing by.
Net Control, WRQ G806, Atlanta 557, with a comment.
Atlanta 849, WROB 245, Pamela with a comment.
Atlanta 532, WRNW 488, with a comment.
Tom.
Whiskey Sierra Foxtrot.
This is WRVR 303, Chattanooga 30. No comment.
WSUK 303, Atlanta 23, monitoring.
This is Whiskey Sierra Foxtrot
Foxtrot Lima 995, Atlanta 1126, check it in.
Yeah, that light only counts when we're on the key. I'm sorry. It's still going to time out at 3 minutes whether we're on the key or not. So when we press the key, it resets the timer.
Got it.
And I have no idea what all the other colors are.
You have no idea?
No. I know red means we're on, but that's a bit.
Red is push to talk. Yellow is standby. The radio is just doing nothing. Green means that it's receiving.
Oh, okay.
The blue light is for the COP radio. That means the COP radio is receiving.
Okay.
And if the red and white light are on together, that means we're transmitting on the COP radio.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's the explanation. For anybody that can see the light tower, you can almost see it in the
Well,
in
you
the
can see it
overview there.
in Gary's picture.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But Gary doesn't have himself up.
Okay. So yeah. So that's that.
Put him on the spot.
Those were the colors for the light tower. That was a kind of a side conversation that happened. Mostly because I pressed the PTT when Tony wasn't paying attention,
Yes.
which is most of the time.
He likes to do that to me all
I
the
do.
time.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Catch you looking.
If I don't hear him talking, I have to look over because he's done something. That's what it is.
So let me go ahead and acknowledge this round of check-ins. We heard Chattanooga.
Chattanooga?
Yeah, Chattanooga 30. Jonathan and Hickson. We've got you marked as in and out. Was that on purpose?
Oh, well, I thought he was in and out.
I'm not
I thought
sure.
I heard him say it.
And then Atlanta 23 Tom in Cartersville. I've got you in the log. In Atlanta 1126. Is his birthday today or was that yesterday?
Oh, he had a birthday?
I think so. Do we have to sing happy birthday?
No, we don't have to sing, but we can congratulate.
Oh,
That's
right. We're not allowed to.
We can
GMRS
congratulate his birthday.
Congratulations on one more orbit all the way around the sun.
We all want a few more of those.
Right. And comments from Atlanta 557, Atlanta 849, and Atlanta 532. We'll come to your comments here in just a moment. But first, I want to go to...
you can ask Jonathan if he wants to make a comment.
I'm going to do that right now. Jonathan, did you have any comments for tonight's net? And what tools do you use to find GMRS repeaters is our topic for the evening. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Good evening, gentlemen. I heard you on my drive home tonight, just before I got in, I heard you talking about GMRS being a gateway, and I confess to being late to tonight's net because I was at the Chattanooga Amateur Radio Club monthly meeting, and if you had asked me 2-3 years ago, I would have told you, oh, no way in heck am I getting a ham license. GMRS is everything I need. I got absolutely no interest, and if you require me to get a GMRS membership, and then I started volunteering on need for ham operator liaison there, and well, yeah, it's a gateway drug. So, what can I say? Here I am, getting into new things, right? I'd learned about repeaters back when I used to work in forestry, just talking to the timber company foresters that had two-way radios. The normal stuff. Does it work on? What's your range and stuff like that? I learned that about repeaters, and then eventually I got my own radios. And then when I got out of forestry in about 2000, I packed those radios. Today, I was going to get them out again and use them, and it was always in my mind like, oh, you've got to have a repeater. I mean, Simplex is okay, but man, you just got to have a repeater so you can get out and talk to people. And I guess it was on mygmrs.com. I kept seeing the same guy's call sign on all these repeaters, but it always said they were private. And I was like, man, this guy's got old repeaters, but he doesn't let anybody use them. And started digging a little deeper and found out, oh, he lets everybody use them. You just don't go through my GMRS, you go through NGARA. story, and I'm sticking with it. Back to you.
Well, good stuff, Jonathan, and thanks for that story. You'd made mention too, about folks that are quite content with their GMRS license, and that reminds me of I can't tell you how many times I would comment to McDonough 22 about when you're going to become a ham,
Right.
and almost to the point where he's offended that I would ask yet again. I think that McDonough 22, Tim, down there in Stockbridge, was very, very satisfied with his GMRS license, and it met all of his needs. And then he started attending some group meetings.
Yeah.
And I think that picked up his interest. And now I believe he's a technician. He may be a general. I'm not quite sure what his license class is at this point. But Tim is one of those that has that story about, this is GMRS is, I don't have any interest in anything more. And I can understand that because it does scratch that itch. It satisfies that communications need. It does achieve the intention of having an alternative communications source so that if you can't make the phone call, you can still be able to get out with alternative comms. And for a lot of people, that is enough.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But amateur radio definitely is the gateway into... GMRS radio is the gateway into amateur radio. Some people do it backwards and they become amateurs first.
Right.
And that's okay too. There's a very big difference between what we do in amateur radio and what we do here on GMRS radio.
Right.
And in my mind, GMRS is a lot more fun, mostly because of the social aspect of it.
Right.
So we talk about often how in amateur radio we make contacts, but here on North Georgia GMRS we make relationships.
Right.
We become friends. We develop an understanding of who people are. We gather for things that are not club meetings. We gather at luncheons just to sit and talk with people. Not necessarily a club meeting. We're not conducting club business,
No.
but we are more or less a lunch club.
Lunch club.
That
Breaking
gathers
bread.
for and that fellowship is more meaningful than the radio itself.
100%.
Yep.
So that's good stuff and great comments, Jonathan.
I have more
Thank you for
friends
that.
now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, a large part of my friend community in amateur radio are the same people that I met here.
Right.
The entire crew that I text with all day, they were all original friends from GMRS, and together, the group that I'm with, we build antennas, and now we go do POTA activations and things like that. But this is where it all started.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good stuff. Thanks, Jonathan, and drive safe. We'll catch you on the next one. Atlanta 2-3, Tom in Cartersville. Tom, did you have any comments for tonight's net?
Yeah, I picked up on GMRS here earlier last year. Pretty much I have it as a backup for cell phone because when Verizon went down here a few months ago, this is exactly how me and my family communicated to keep in touch.
Yeah, and it's a great tool for that. And, the one thing that's cool about GMRS radio that you can't do in amateur radio is family communications.
Right.
So your one license covers everybody in the family. And, and not everybody in the family doesn't have to live under the same roof.
Right.
So you can have communications with your parents if they're in the same neighborhood, or even if they're not. If they're within our coverage footprint, you can reach out to them on GMRS radio and be able to stay connected, maybe even when the cell phone battery is dead.
Yep.
Because mom forgot to charge it again.
It happens.
It happens. So that's great to be able to get one license that covers everybody in the family, and it's so affordable.
And it's a good way to expose the grandkids, too.
And
Oh, yeah.
yes,
To
and,
radio.
and the next generation, the kids and the grandkids, being able to see the usefulness and the utility of two-way radio.
And with GMRS, the approachability. Once again, you've got the whole family involved right there from the get-go.
That's right. Good stuff, Tom. Thanks for your comments tonight. I really appreciate that. And Atlanta 1126.
Birthday
Joseph
boy.
in Snellville. Joseph, do you have any comments for the net tonight? And are you wearing a hat that ends in a point?
Atlanta 1126 to Net Control. Yes, thank you for acknowledging my birthday. Another time around the sun, as you mentioned. I am not currently wearing the hat, but I am totally enjoying the chocolate cake that my wife spent on cooking for me today. I wish you could all share some of it, but I'm
Me too.
Yes.
not going to give up any of it, to be honest with you. I agree with all that's been said. As an amateur radio licensed operator as well as GMRS, you find the great people on both of them. And, amateur radio is not for everyone, nor is GMRS, but I found a great group of people on both sides of the aisle. So with that, I'll turn it back to Net Control, and thank you for the birthday wishes. Atlanta 1126, back to Net Control.
All right, good stuff, Joseph. And
Chocolate cake.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
It does. It's probably not anywhere near as good, but we may have to sneak over to Costco and grab a cake this weekend.
There you go.
We can scratch that itch. Yeah.
The folks
Appreciate
on YouTube all heard whenever he said chocolate cake. Everyone in this room went, oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, it's gonna be your birthday.
Yep.
Soon enough. So
this is true.
We can all enjoy the chocolate cake whenever that time comes around.
There you go.
It's going to be less than a year away.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody's birthday is less than a year.
Less than a year away.
You can always count on a good food discussion on the Thursday night net. It happens. It happens. It's a tradition. It really is.
If we can't get together for a meal, what's the point of getting together?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep. So we have some comments from a few. Jim, did you want to take this one?
I'd really like to take the first comment, slow down my speech, and say, Ed, sorry for garbling your call sign. I know very well that you're Atlanta 557, and sorry about that, but please, the floor is yours, my friend.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and great net, guys. I just wanted to throw out there one more tool that we really didn't speak about, and it's a tool that I use all the time. So we talked about my GMRS and other places where you can get the information, but once you get the information, now you got to program your radio. So every manufacturer has their own program, their own CPS, if you will. Let me break. But if you're using a common radio, a popular radio, chances are that Chirp will also program it. So once you get that first radio programmed, it's very easy to read the radio into Chirp. Once you have it in Chirp, then you can use Chirp to program all that information, just copy and paste. You can export it and import it and just duplicate the information from one radio to another, even if they're different manufacturers. So Chirp is a great tool to help cut down on the amount of steps that you need to program multiple radios. So just wanted to throw that out there. Great net, guys. Thanks.
No, that's a really good point. Being able to program the radio with a tool like Chirp. But even if you can't, if you're running a radio that uses proprietary software for programming, that's an important consideration, is the effort that it takes to put together a code plug. All right. So the code plug is basically the configuration file that the radio uses to know what frequencies it should open up for your particular channel selection, and how to operate that frequency, and whether or not to include a tone or whether or not to decode or receive tone. Building up that code plug and entering in the transmit frequency, the transmit PL tone, the receive frequency, the receive PL tone, knowing what the offsets are and how they work, knowing how the offset is entered for your particular version of software that you're operating, can all be kind of a lot. And Chirp is cool because it kind of normalizes.
Just a spread. It looks like a spreadsheet.
That's the thing. If you can use a spreadsheet, you can use Chirp, and if you know somebody can use a spreadsheet, you can use Chirp.
Yeah. So that I think is a cool tool, just on the fact that it kind of standardizes everything. The way that you program a Kenwood 880 is the same way that you program an Anytone. It's a different file, You can't just take the 880 file and make it an Anytone, but you can take the data out of the 880.
Yes, sir.
And you can import it into the Anytone, and you have basically very little work to do to clean that up to make that ready for uploading to your radio.
Well, and I think, wasn't it this week somebody was on the Facebook page, somebody asked about an Anytone code plug. And,
I think that was Bob, actually.
Was that Bob?
Yeah.
Okay, and then,
So-
somebody answered him right away, and I
posted
think we
one.
have some. And
Yeah.
our
And that-
Facebook page has a lot of resources as far as, hey, do you have a code plug for this, or do you have a code plug for that?
And that's if we're talking about code plugs, I think that's a good resource because a number of people have uploaded their code plug to the files section on the Facebook page. And if our guy is on the ball, he's over there pulling up Facebook right now so we can show you the files
That
section.
sounded like a dig to me.
But he might not be quite that on the ball.
No.
We'll see if he's got it or not. If I talk long enough, I'm sure he'll get there. But that's a great resource, depending on what radio you have. And I tell you, I don't even know what all we have for code plugs on that page. I just know that when I glanced at it recently, it was a full page full of files, and it probably would scroll for some distance. So yeah, right
it
all
at?
the way to the top where it says files. Right there. Yeah, right where I was pointing.
Yeah.
So these are the code plugs, and it's a full page.
And if you're on the radio, I'm sure you can't see that.
Yeah, if you're on the radio, you don't know where I'm pointing. However, there's
quite a few.
TID radio,
There's a ton
there's
of 'em.
Radioddity, there's Midland, there's Bofang, there's BTEC.
And it
There-
might be old, but it will still get you started.
The
Absolutely.
the Woshi radios are in there. That's right. Some of these might be old enough that they don't include all the repeaters, or that we've changed the tones on some of our repeaters. So many of our repeaters use an analog CTC SS tone. Some use a digital DCS tone. If we're using a digital tone, it's probably because we've had to change the tone. We generally start off. Oh yeah, I see that. We should probably break. Thank you. If we're using a DCS tone, it's probably because of some interference that we found in the analog tone, and we went to the digital tone hoping to avoid that coming back. There are some what's the word I'm looking for? Industrial telemetry radios out there that operate, commercial radios that operate near our frequencies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
okay.
if those radios are poorly maintained, they can dump what sounds like a PL tone into their signal, into our signal space. And so sometimes a repeater will pick that up and decode that, thinking it's a transmission, and it's just noise. Digital telemetry from some machine or some device or some site, and it's just noise to us. So when those kind of things happen, we generally choose a DCS tone because it's far less likely to be erroneously picked up by our machines.
But these files will get you started at least.
Absolutely, and with a little bit of editing, you can go in there and you can
We'll give you the
update.
format, how
You
it's
learn the
supposed to be
format,
in
yeah.
there, and then you could change. You can make incremental changes based off the website or whatever you need
and be able
but
to
it's a
add
good start.
repeaters. And,
Yep.
and so a lot of times you'll find that if it's an NGGMRS code plug, it won't have external repeaters that belong to other people. You may have to add those in yourself, and I would encourage you to do that.
Yeah.
Find out what repeaters are anywhere near where you normally travel. Even if you're traveling out of state, if you go there a couple times a year, put those repeaters in, and just make sure that they're on your system. Sometimes, you can go ahead and ask for permission to use the repeater while you're traveling. Sometimes that's easy. Sometimes it's less easy. But nonetheless, make that effort to get that permission. So good stuff. Where were we? I didn't use my checkbox. Were we about to ask for?
That was Ed we just talked to, right?
Okay.
So you got Pamela.
All right. Yeah. Next on the list is Atlanta 849. Pamela, go ahead with your comments.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. I was going to say that I get my repeater information from Ernest Atlanta 848 because he's got all that knowledge that helps me, and I get to listen to the Buckhead, Peachtree sometimes, and certain ways at home we can pick up Jersey, of course, got Flagship, and enjoy all those and all the information everybody's been putting out there. But I was wondering what happened to the announcement for Peachtree Corners Brunch Punch tonight.
Well, I didn't see an announcement updated. The last one I had last month's date on it, so we took that one out. Just need to know the current information.
Well, I went in, and the only one I had to go into was a February 19th. That was on my phone, so that's where I updated it at. But maybe it was after you looked at it. But anyway, we meet the 21st of March this month, and of course we're at JR's Log House Road Restaurant up on 6601 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. That's in Peachtree Corners, and it's up on the hill up there. And we have all kinds of food there, and lots of great people coming, and some wonderful people that work there and take care of us every month to make sure everything's going on. And we want everybody to come. And we do have Patrick, Exana 240. Let me break. That does Mess-tastic there also with our group. He's really good with it, and a few others know some of it and bring their equipment, and we work on it. So everybody's welcome to bring whatever they need worked on to ours also, and have some great tasty food and meet some great people. Noon.
All right. Well, I did find your updated announcements in last week's version of the announcements, and I went ahead and copied them over to this week's, so we should be able to just move that into next week's pretty seamlessly. So I'm not sure how we missed that, but we did. Yeah, so Patrick is coming to the next gathering, and is he bringing instructional material, or is this just going to be a casual conversation about Mesh-tastic and probably Mesh Core?
Well, if he knows ahead of time that somebody needs something or something in particular, some particular information, I'm sure he'd be glad to get that to someone. They can go to probably my Gmail and put some questions in there, and I can get it to Patrick.
Patrick was the first person to teach me about Mesh-tastic.
Did you have the PTT down when you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Fantastic. All right. So Patrick was the first to teach you
Mesh-tastic. I had no idea what Mesh-tastic was, and when I first joined GMRS and we're back on theme, I met a couple people. I met Jennifer. I met Patrick. And he started teaching the two of us about how antennas work and how you make a piece of wire turn into an antenna, and then introduced us to Mesh-tastic. That's Atlanta 240.
Yeah, so cool stuff. And last time that I was able to join Pamela and the crew at that gathering, I noticed that Patrick had brought with him a Mesh-tastic device that was configured, and I saw that device slide across the table, and I think there might have been some cash. At least there was some discussion of that. It looked a lot like a drug deal, but I don't think there were any drugs involved.
Hardware deal.
Yeah, I mean that's, and like I say, GMRS is the radio habit that leads to other radio habits.
An addiction.
And addictions, I suppose, is likely a part of it. So good stuff. All right, well then, if you're not planning on going to Pamela's lunch gathering, the Peachtree Corners Brunch Bunch, and that meets on the third Saturday of every month at JR's Log House. It's in Peachtree Corners, 6601 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. And if you have any questions or need more information, or if you would like to get in contact with Patrick or Pamela, send Pamela an email at skygazerpamela849@gmail.com. Once again, that's skygazerpamela849, all one word, @gmail.com. And plan on March 21st for that. If you need a Meshtastic or a Mesh Core device to be configured, I'm sure that can be arranged. Although they're not too terribly hard
No,
to
they're
build
not,
up.
they're not that difficult.
And you can get the LoRa radio on Amazon for $30-ish bucks.
Right.
For about $30, you can have everything you need to get started.
Yeah, the one that I bought came with a 3D printed case.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it didn't have room in the case for the battery. That's the one thing I wish that if they'd 3D printed the case. It's such a small thing, and it's so easy to slip that into your pocket. But the battery lead hangs out, and the battery kind of flops around, hanging on the wires, and it's just a matter of time before that becomes no good. So
There are, however, a lot of people with 3D printers who sell different boxes that will actually hold your battery as well and things. There's a lot of options on either eBay or right there on Amazon.
let's break. So that's a really, really good option. Either 3D print your own case or pick one up. And, that's what a crazy world we live in where you can just make stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or, reach out to Patrick on the radio.
He's on almost every day,
and
especially
A lot of times in the morning and lunchtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in the morning, lunchtime, in the evening. Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, thank you for that, Pamela. With that, let's move on to Atlanta 532, Tom in Flowery Branch. Sorry to make you wait so long, Tom.
Well, good evening, Net Control. This is Atlanta 532. No problem waiting. Been listening to the information tonight. It's been really good. Question I just have is as far as, since we're talking repeaters, if I have no plans to do this, but if I or somebody plans to put up their own GMRS repeater, do they need to coordinate that through anybody? I've been studying some of the ham questions, and there's supposed to be in ham radio, you're supposed to go through the regional repeater coordinator. Does GMRS radio have anything like that, or is it just an honor system? Just a question I have.
That's a great question, Tom, and I'm glad that you asked because it gives us an opportunity to have this discussion. So, in GMRS radio, there is no coordination. As you mentioned, in amateur radio, there is, and so the North Georgia Amateur Radio Association repeaters are all coordinated through SARA for their coordination. And so what that basically means is that there's an organization that takes care to make sure that repeaters are far enough apart, either in frequency or in distance, so that they do not interfere with one another. And the way that we achieve that in GMRS is a little bit different because there's no expectation of coordination, and there's no expectation of your having sole access to a frequency.
Right.
So if Tom wants to put up a repeater high atop the ridge in his backyard, he's able to do so. And his requirement to coordinate does not exist. He doesn't have to coordinate really with anyone. But what he should do is before he establishes a repeater in his backyard is he should listen to all of the available repeater frequencies. There are only 8 of them. And find the one that is the quietest. And you may find that there's traffic on all of them, and that's okay. Find the one that is the quietest, and that will serve both repeaters, yours and the other repeater, in having less intermodulation interference. Now, the intermod is something that's only going to happen if both repeaters are transmitting at exactly the same time. And when you consider, even in a big organization like North Georgia GMRS, there are a lot of minutes through the day that there's no activity.
No activity.
There are many, many hours of
We have
no activity.
hundreds of active members.
Yes. So the opportunity to successfully operate a GMRS repeater and share a frequency with North Georgia GMRS is pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there are a lot of repeaters throughout the region that already exist that are already sharing frequencies with North Georgia GMRS, and we're coexisting quite well.
Right.
So
with the tones.
With the tones, and that's the key. The tones are the key. You would find out what tones North Georgia GMRS are using on whatever repeater pair you wish to set your repeater up on, and make sure you select a different set of tones. And there are hundreds of tones available. There's several dozen analog tones available, and there are many dozens of digital tones available. So just make sure that you're using a different tone than any of the repeaters that are on the channel that you want to use, and you should be good. Let me break. So great question, Tom. I hope that answers the question for you, and good luck with your repeater adventures. I just so happen to have a repeater here that was donated to North Georgia GMRS. Now, I still need to get with Gary on this, but for the right price, that could probably be made available to help with your ambitions in becoming a repeater owner. What's your interest, Tom?
Well, thanks for the offer, and I really don't have much interest in putting my own up. I love the North Georgia GMRS Network. The repeaters work fine for me, so just wanted to answer that question. I know with ham repeaters, it's a whole different story, and you definitely answered my question there, Justin. Thank you. But no repeater for me.
All right. Well, I understand no repeater for you, but would it interest you to know that the repeater was donated by another guy named Tom?
Well, most Toms are pretty benevolent people. I've found that in my history, so doesn't surprise me.
Well, if you have two of them standing nearby, I'm quite certain you can get directions to just about anywhere. That was an old Tom joke. Does anybody use the Tom anymore?
I don't even think somebody bought them out.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a thing anymore.
That's
After
not-
the cell phones included it for free, that was pretty much the death knell, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe Garmin bought them out or something.
I think that's exactly it.
Okay. All right. So no more Tom jokes.
No more Tom.
All right. Well, thank you, Tom, for the question and for the interest in the repeater. I'm not sure what is going to happen with this repeater, but Gary and I will get together next week. I'll put it in his hands, and I'll likely never see it again. So, I don't know if it'll get deployed someplace. I don't know if it'll sit on a shelf for the rest of its life. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but it's not the standard repeater that we typically would deploy. So it might be a standby backup unit somewhere. I'm not entirely sure what we'll do with it, but it was a very generous donation by a lifetime member from North Georgia GMRS. So I'd like to shout out to Tom. That would be Blue Ridge 20.
Blue Ridge 20.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Blue Ridge 20. So thanks for that donation, Tom. Appreciate that. All right, that is the end of the festivities for tonight's Nets. We made it all the way this far. We just have a little bit further to go. So at this point, I'm going to say this concludes the North Georgia GMRS Regional Nets. Tonight we had a total of...
Hang on. I missed it. 56 chickens?
56 chickens, including net control. We will now return repeaters back to normal use. Everyone who signed in should sign out. Don't forget, because I always do, so don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, comments on YouTube videos shows engagement with the video and helps the channel grow. Tune in next week, and this is the other part I always forget, is to look and see what next week's topic is going to be.
What is it?
It looks like we're going to be on the NGARA next week.
Amateur next week.
And we're going to be talking about setting up portable ham stations, POTA and SOTA. Do you know anything about that?
A little bit.
No,
I'm quite passionate.
All right. Are you planning on joining us next week here in the studio?
And bring a POTA rig? I mean, there's one in the car right now.
I don't know if we'll need a rig.
You can bring one, but you can show and tell it kind of in here. But
no, that was the intent. Absolutely.
Hard to do any kind of a real demonstration. But in any case, we'll love to have you next week. Where we talk about POTA and SOTA, and all things portable ham operating next week on the NGARA. If you can't tune in to the NGARA, you can tune in to the YouTube live stream and join us there.
Same channel.
All right. Let's see. That, I think, brings us to thank you for allowing us to serve as your net control this evening. Good night, everyone. This is Atlanta 946, WQYR 514. My name is Justin.
My name is Jim, WSAM 231, Atlanta 102.
And I'm WRZV 748, Atlanta 1150, Tony.
And this is WRUB 711, Atlanta 519. My name is Gary.
We are North Georgia GMRS Network.
Thanks, guys.
And we are clear.
Thank you.